Hey, what's up, students? I wanted to go over the 9-4 notes really quick. So the first three examples, we're trying to solve for zero. So we have, as you can see here, a binomial times a binomial. All three situations, they all equal zero. We can't do any of these tricks unless you actually get these things equal to zero. So we're going to use this thing called the zero products property, or the zero product property, excuse me. That means if you have two things that are being multiplied and it equals zero, that means the first thing could be zero, or the second thing could be zero, or they both could be zero, because 0 times u makes 0, u times 0 makes 0, and then 0 times 0 makes 0. So we got to figure out what do you need to be to make 0, what do you need to be to make 0. So they're actually really easy to solve. What do you need to plug in right here to make 0? Well, if you don't know what to plug in with mental math, then you physically set it equal to 0, okay? When are u going to equal 0? Probably when you throw in a -3, it looks like. There you go. There's one of your answers. That's going to be the shortcut every single time. Every single time it's a plain variable, this number, the opposite will make 0. Remember, opposites make 0. So using that shortcut, I know right away that x equals -7. Okay? I can set up an equation, but using my trick, I already know it's going to be a -7. These are going to be the two numbers that could get you a 0. Okay, -3 plus 3 is 0. It's going to cancel u. -7 is going to get me a 0. That's going to cancel u. Okay, so these are the two numbers that could get you a 0. The next one, sorry about that, it should be an a. Opposite, if you want to get a 0, you probably need a +2. Okay, so that shortcut, again, only works when it's a plain variable and a number. If you've got a spicy variable, you physically need to set it equal to 0. So when does this dude equal 0? Physically set it equal to 0 and then solve using your algebra skills. -5 minus 5, 2a is going to equal a -5. Divide by 2, divide by 2, a is going to equal a -2.5. Okay, so these are the two numbers that you need to get you a 0. Last one, they're both two-steppers, okay? The variables are both spicy. So I got to go 3y plus 4 equals 0. And then I got to go 2y minus 7 equals 0. Just a couple of two-step equations. -4, -4. I'm not even going to rewrite because I'm lazy. Okay, y is going to equal a -4/3. Okay, it's also a -1.3 repeating. And then right here, +7, +7, divide by 2, divide by 2. Y could also equal a +3.5. Okay. If you want to take a second here and kind of push pause, go to Desmos and type in that equation right there, and then see where it crosses the x-axis. I have a funny feeling that this one might hit -3 and might hit -7. Okay. This next one, if you were to graph this, I got a funny feeling it might hit a -2.5 and then a +2. Okay, I just got a funny feeling. If you graph this one, I have a feeling you might hit a -1.3 and a 3.5. I don't know. Go to Desmos, plug those in, and then check your work. Again, Desmos will check your answers and all of your solutions. Okay, so again, recap really quick. Plain variable, opposite. Plain variable, opposite. Plain variable, opposite. If it's not a plain variable, one step, two step, solve it. One step, two step, one step, two step. Boom. That's how you use the zero product property.